Coastal towns in Britain, whether in past or present, usually have a history on the waters. Whether it's navy, fishing or boating for leisure, you rarely see a seaside town without a harbour. Kingsmere itself has its history. In July 1588, navy ships were launched from Kingsmere Bay to challenge the Spanish Armada. In 1940, local fishermen sailed for Dunkirk during the World War II evacuation. And of course, in more recent times, we were visited by HMS Edward. A local historian called Biffa Lovetea has drawn up plans to build a maritime museum on the grounds of the old harbour. The modern museum will cover all Kingsmere's sea adventures spanning centuries. Around the museum will feature the now much smaller harbour restored and used only by local fishermen and tourists. Welcome to Kingsmere, a UK inspired town with a sprinkle of my own creativity. I can't lie, I very much nearly lost it when I named the local historian as Biffa Lovetea. I think I kept it together. I don't think anybody noticed, right? Right. But anyway, welcome back to Kingsmere. This is our UK-inspired city that we're building from the ground up. This is the old town that we've been working on for the last couple of episodes, which in my opinion has come along quite delightfully. That's the rest of the town, with the university up there, more modern sort of district with the central train station, etc. But in this video, we're going to actually focus on this very small portion of land here. Depending how we get on here, we might branch out to the land between the railway line and the retail park just there. But we'll take it one step at a time. So yeah, as explained in the intro, we're going to be looking at trying to build a kind of maritime museum, a museum that contains all of Kingsmere's history relating to the seas, whether it's defending from invasions, assisting in evacuations, or just the fact that we've been visited by the latest Royal HMS warship, which is called HMS Edward, after our university and our late king. So that's the idea for today's video, so let's lock in and enjoy it. So the first step nearly every time is to clear away our trees that we've currently got down here, because quite frankly we don't want them there obstructing our view. So let's reduce this brush size so we don't cause any accidents that we don't want to get rid of, and then start by auto-saving, of course. Start by just trying to pick up as many of these trees that are unwanted as possible, just to give us a clear working area for what we want to do. And we're probably going to clear it all the way up to basically right on the edge of this railway line that we've got going on here. And probably all the way back up. You know what, we might as well just take away all of this for the time being, because we can just replace it. It's no stress. All of that as well can come up to make it bare as a baby's bottom. I can't believe I've just said that in a video. And then we'll just do the same over at this end, because we want to try and utilise as much space as we can. So we'll just collect all of that about there, and I'm just going to be a little bit more careful down in this section, because I don't want to get rid of this shrubbery down here. Perfect. Oh, perfect. Good. And then I feel like we are probably going to need a little bit more space, because there's not a massive amount of space here. So we're just going to reclaim a portion of land, probably about that height. I'm just going to try our very best to flatten out as much as we can, and then we're going to try to reclaim just a bit of land so that we've just got an extra ounce of room for our building. So just reclaim a bit more of that. Push that out just a tad more to begin with, like that. Maybe even just out a smidge more over here, which will hopefully just afford us that little bit more wiggle room when it comes to building. There's still plenty of room there, so we might even just claim a little bit more, just because we're horrible and greedy. And then once we've kind of decided what we're going to do. What are you? Why are you there? Who are you? Where are you going? Leighton Goodman? No. 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 Oh, Lord. Oh my gosh, it's the prophet. She can walk on water. Is it Leighton? Is that a girl's name or a boy's name? They can walk on water. Oh my lord. And you're going to the Park View. You know what? I'm not even going to ask. You just do you. This is a weird place. It's the ghosts from all this history, I'm telling you. It's the ghosts. But anyway, let's stop messing around. We got work to do. So you'll probably be guessing, oh, what's he going to do for the museum? Well, actually, I'm just going to be using this maritime museum. And the reason that I'm going to be using this is because it's very nice. It's very modern, as our lovely historian wanted. And it just fits probably just about right, to be honest with you. So I'd quite like to take some advantage of said building, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to find a little spot for this right kind of near the edge of the water, just to allow us a little bit of room out the front, a little road connection around the side, because as you can see the road connection is there, and we're going to plop that one down probably about here, I reckon. He says, as he doesn't plop it, probably about... Oh, it's so hard. I don't know what to do. Probably about there. We're just going to have to bite the bullet, and just kind of take it. Which, yeah, not a bad placement for first placement. We're obviously going to tidy this up quite a lot, and there's going to be a lot of work involved in trying to get this somewhat right. So it's just a matter of playing a little bit of patience. No problem at all. And we'll have a little walkway underneath this portion of land under the railway bridge as well, which I think will be a cool little addition to add, because then at least we can access all of this land here, which would be great. So that's good. That is in position. Next thing we need to do is just want to grab a very small road, the smallest we can possibly grab, which is going to be our little alley, because it always is, because the vanilla roads, in my opinion, are too big. And then we just want to connect this up here like so, and into our small museum just like that. Awesome. Perfect. And there we have a small maritime museum. Now, it's got these horrible trees that always disappear, so we're going to change those. We're going to collect all of you, and we're going to replace all of you with some other trees, maybe some oaky boys we'll probably do. And then if we do oaky boys, we only really need a few of them like that. Fantastic. Good. That's a really good start. Now, the first thing that I think we need in our small little harbour area would be, well, a little... Why can't I think of the word? Ferry stop, obviously, is what we want. So we're going to pick this location here where the road comes in for our ferry stop. Let's have a look. Is that central enough for us, everybody? I would say so. What are we thinking? Yeah, I think that's probably about where the magic is going to happen. It kind of makes sense to have a ferry stop here, I'm not going to lie. And as you can see, I've placed a very small pathway, just planning for the future, just there. And my intention will be, at some point, to run some ferries around the coast. Obviously that is a thing that will come in the future, because we don't really have many places for said ferries to go. However, plan for the future, and then you don't have to change too much later down the line. So what we'll do is we'll just hook this up just slightly, and then we're going to bring this all the way out just like that. And for the time being, all we're going to do with this is just link it up over here. Good. I assume that this isn't a passenger connection, and we would not be able to connect to it. because we can connect it to there, but I don't think our passenger ferries can go outside. It would be cool if they could, but I do think that you have to have a big man harbour to be able to do that. So as you can see, yeah, passenger ships will go out, but there's no way that that's going to fit in there, as you can see. But yeah, cool. Either or, we have got a ferry terminal, which is fine, and it's a start. Great. Right, next. So the next thing that I've done is I've just drawn out a couple of piers like this. Nothing too crazy, just a couple of piers. And we're just going to dot a few small boats within this. Like I said, this harbour has very much been run down over centuries and centuries, and it's not much left of it. So it's just a very small kind of pier for just some tourists and a couple of fishermen, which we'll get onto in a short while later. But for the time being, we're just going to grab a couple of sailboats to begin with, and we're just going to pop them kind of alongside our harbour here. It kind of makes sense to have them, to be honest with you, in this sort of harbour area, because, well, obviously they're boats. So we're just going to have these bad boys just chilling alongside there, and we'll have one yacht and one yacht, just like that. Very small, nothing too crazy. We might just... Oh, I thought I could recolor these, or is it just these? Yeah, it's just these ones that we can recolor, which is a little bit annoying, to be honest, but it is what it is. What color can we make you? We'll have you as a darker color roof. Deflect the sun. Good. Well, at least we've got a few boats in our harbour, which is great. Don't worry, we're going to have a better one, or section just here, which I'll give you a sneak peek. You'll see all of these assets. So these, which are awesome. Small boats, fish boats, bigger boats, two big boat. So we're going to get there. It's going to be cool. It's going to look awesome down here. But just for the time being, we're just going to do this. I'm tempted to potentially just maybe reduce the amount of boats that are here. It just seemed like too many. Maybe like that. That'll probably be a bit better, won't it? And then we just need to decorate this section here, make it look a little bit nicer, and then we can kind of work on what's next. So alongside the ferry section, I've just pulled out the surface area here, and we've drawn out a few benches just to add like a little pathway area for you to sit, potentially wait for your ferry or similar. So that's looking relatively cool. I don't know what you're doing, postman. There's definitely no post in post in there. That's cool. And then we might just leave that as a bit of greenery, but I don't know what to do about this section down here, to be honest with you. So we're going to have to try and figure out how we're going to maybe blend that in just a little bit better, potentially with some surfaces or something like that might maybe help us. Maybe just a very thin riverbed surface. We'll have a look. It might not work. I think that's alright, to be honest. Yeah, that's alright. That's no dramas. We'll use that for the outer sort of perimeter section out here, just to kind of make it make sense a little bit better, like that. Doesn't really matter how close and tight we are there. Yeah, I think that's alright. Maybe just a couple of rocks or something else to decorate around that too, and we should be winning. Oh, don't know about that. A couple of rocks just scattered around the place, and then we'll find maybe a little bit of small bushes, something like a wild bush. Something like that, just scattered around the area, nothing too mental. There we go. Seems good enough to me, to be honest. That seems alright. I want to put trees here, but I don't really want to block the view of the building itself. So maybe we'll just not do that for the time being. We'll just leave that as is. I don't know what to do about underneath here, because we could pull that out like that, so that it looks like a platform. Maybe we should, and then maybe we should find maybe something like this, or is there another sculpture? Something like that. Maybe something like that. Nah. That's too big. We'll use the red one. Like that. And then we'll pick it up and just raise it up slightly so it stands up a bit stronger. I think that's probably okay. Maybe one more. Just like that. That'll do. That'll do donkey. And potentially, as it's like a nice modern sort of development that we've got going on here now, we could just add maybe one of these at the entrance, potentially, or here. Maybe there will do. Oh, I don't know. Help me. Maybe something like that. I think maybe here would probably be best. You know what, I'm going to leave that for now, and I'm going to decide on what to do with that at a later date. But for the time being, it's looking all right. We do need some car parking out the back, though. So I'll probably do that next. Now, the next thing that I want to do, I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it. We want, basically, you know, a ramp where the ships go down or the boats go down into the sea, like a little ramp down. We want that. And it's going to be difficult, man. It's going to be so difficult. I can already feel it. I can feel the pain already. So what we're going to try to do is basically do this. We want to somehow create a section of ramp. Maybe around there, potentially. So we want the ramp to be from about here down and go down into the sea. Whether or not this is going to work, I have absolutely no idea. But we don't know until we try. So let's pick this, and we're going to go like this. And we're just going to pray the whole time that this might work. Judging by what's happening, autosave, at the moment, I'm going to say it's probably not working properly. So it might be the case that we need to do some keys. So if we update that with a key and that with a key, we might be able to do it alternatively like that. Potentially. But it more fills up with water than becomes a ramp for us, which is a little bit annoying. I wonder if we softened that just a little bit and did that. Oh, that's not right. Sorry, restart. So this is going to be a lot of fiddling around to get this right. So we want that. We want it to slope from about there into the ocean. Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. I mean, it's not too bad. I know you guys are probably thinking, what on earth is that? What are you doing? Just trust the process a little bit. Feel right. Yeah, trust this process. It looks great. Leave me alone. It does not look great. If we do that, I mean, it's just horrendous looking, but we'll get it right. We will get it right. And we essentially we probably want to actually key up all of this side, to be brutally honest. So potentially have all of this as keys. I think it's probably our best bet. So maybe we'll pane. If we have that as a key, and then if we can somehow hook onto the top of this, that would just be great. Something like that. And then we establish those paths as keys, like that, and maybe something like that. And we try and flatten the outer terrain here. Oh, that's not even connected up, which is really frustrating. It's going to be harder than I thought. To be fair, I say harder than I thought. I didn't even think it was going to work at all. So yeah. So we need to try and hook this up as one. So let's grab this again. Oh man, what am I doing? So much pressure. Stop watching me. You're all looking at me while I'm doing this. It's just this corner here. So we probably want to pull this land out now. Like that. See if we can hook this up. Why won't you hook up, son? That looks hooky-ducky to me. Alright. Smash that back in. Reduce this back down. Like that. Okay. Don't flood on me. Look at all these people just looking at me while I'm struggling. Let me cook, bro. And we need to somehow just have no. We need this a bit more flat, like that. I think this could probably be about that height, and then we just do that. It's probably fine, isn't it? There we go. And then if we just bring this pathway in ever so slightly, just like that, just like that. We will probably make you a key, but not a dramatic key, probably just about like that. And then the idea was that we would grab our probably road or pavement surface, and we'll grab that here and basically just pavement off this portion like that, so it looks like a kind of boat ramp. And I'd say jobs are good, and to be fair, that probably looks like a boat ramp. Once we do a few adjustments, I'd say that that's a decent, valiant effort, to be honest with you. I'd say that's not the worst thing that I've ever done in my entire life, so we'll take it. Yeah, that looks like a boat ramp. Cool. Okay, I've added a few boats and connected this kind of entryway to the sea. We need... This obviously looks horrendous at the moment, so we need our surface to basically cover all of this area, so that it looks like a dock. So we want all of this concrete basically all over here. So that's kind of the initial plan. We're just going to start by doing that around here, like so. Cover it off here, and that should look all very concreted up, minus this corner, which is no problem at all. We can adjust that. Fantastic. Good. It's starting to look a little bit more harbour-y. Now, I think a lot of this is going to probably be prop based, hoping that we can maybe figure it out, make it look a little bit nicer. So let's go to our industrial boat props and just start figuring out what we want to put down, to be honest with you. Like these metal sheets and stuff like that. We just basically we just need to fill out the area with these sort of things. So whether it's barrels, stuff like that, basically all over. So I'm going to start trying to do that, and then we'll kind of go from there, and hopefully we'll actually be kind of put together and have a nice sort of area going on. So I'm just trying to work on some fencing for the outer sort of perimeter here. So I'm just trying to get it somewhat right as we're doing it, but it's not always as easy as it seems. So we just want that to kind of go over there, but it doesn't quite go as nicely as it should. So then we're going to kind of drag that out from here and try and run that all the way down this road here. Good, and then we'll probably have to pick that back up just here, but trying to keep it looking like it's one sort of row. R-O-W. I mean, it does the job. I mean, the fence is the fence, isn't it? It kind of does the job as best as it can. You can probably see that I've added a few different things, like down here, some stuff that you would use to do your boats and stuff. I'm not very boaty, I'm not going to lie. I'm not very boaty, which is quite surprisingly, given what we're building at the moment. But yeah, I just want to let you know that I'm not that boaty. So we're just going to continue on with our mission. We're just going to put some trees behind this bit, just like that. But the most important thing for this build will probably be our decals that we put down. But before we do that, we just need to find a nice little gate for our entrance. So just a parking lot gate will probably do, to be honest with you, something like that, and something like that. Nothing too crazy, doesn't really matter. Just a nice little gate over at the entrance, which is looking pretty good. It's looking much better now, isn't it? Starts to actually look like a bit of a shipyard. Now let's go decal crazy, because we want this to try to look as rough and rugged as possible. So let's try and do such a thing and try to find some decent decals that will hopefully help us out. There's just about finding the right ones though, because we want it to be good. There's tractor tracks. We don't really want tractor tracks. Just muddy tracks. So it probably will be just digging through here to look at all of the concrete sort of assets that we've got, and just kind of see what we can come up with using these. So I'm going to dig through some of the assets, hopefully find some that look reasonable, that can be used over here. For some reason they don't cover the road, which is a bit strange. That's quite cool, but it doesn't cover the road, which is a little bit annoying. So I would very much like it to cover the whole sort of area, because it's not too bad at all, that kind of decal. So maybe we'll put some of this down, and then we'll add a little bit of dirt to it, and then we will look at potentially trying to decorate the roads and stuff with it as well. So let's do that for the time being, like that maybe. It's looking a bit better, but it still needs a lot of dirt and oil and stuff. It's certainly looking a lot more dirty and grotty now, isn't it? Yeah, it's looking pretty cool if you ask me. I like the way that's kind of come along. The only thing that I want to do is I want to try and maybe put some lines in the road or something. Problem is it's not going to come up above all of these, is it? Which is going to be a bit of a problem, unless I can somehow... Is that going to show up? I think it might. So I basically just want to draw like a strip of white line, something like that, just to kind of signify where the actual road is, so that then these people that are coming in here can not get as lost as they probably will without said markings, because it is an absolute dump in here. Just something like that, and then maybe just dump that line there, and probably just put another line about here, which hasn't really worked anyway, to be honest. You can just about see it, just about catch a glimpse of it, but yeah, you know what I mean. Maybe we should just add some, like a little fence or something then instead. Maybe just something small and simple. Maybe just like that. It's probably fine, to be honest. If we just whacked a small little fence in the middle, just to signify the entrance and where the road is. Just like that, please. I think that's looking pretty decent, if you ask me. Really decent indeed, and it is like a little. Someone's gonna have to tell me what they're called, like an entrance way or whatever it is. But yeah, I think that's looking pretty decent. I'm happy with that. Let me just boulder this back up, and then let me just whacker these on. How are we looking? Wow, Biffle of Tea is going to be pleased with his idea, because it's certainly coming along rather quite nicely. A very small harbour / boatyard, very small indeed, but certainly looks the part. Very tasty. I am struggling a little bit with ideas of what to fill this space in. We could always just build another boatyard, but I don't really want to. I'm thinking maybe just another kind of like big building, something like this, just to kind of fill in the space and kind of bring us gently back to the kind of town sort of vibes. I mean, it could work, but I feel like the terrain wise, I think we should probably try to make it just a bit higher, probably about this sort of height. But I think it is just going to go a bit weird because it's going to connect to the road, isn't it, rather than actually the terrain height, which is a little bit annoying. Yeah, it just connects with kind of the road sort of height rather than the terrain. I mean, it looks quite good though. It fits pretty snug. It's just sorting out the terrain, which is kind of like the main issue. Unless we can potentially spin it this way, and then have a very small road connecting it up. So if we were to do potentially this here, like that, maybe. That looks a bit rubbish as well, doesn't it? Decisions. Difficulties all around. Thank you. Let's grab that out, soften this terrain out a bit, see if we can bring it back to normality, and then let's try again by placing this road, this building, sorry, just here. Like that. Doesn't look too horrendous. I mean, to be honest with you, it's actually alright. We just ran a very small road just up there doesn't look too horrendous, and yeah, I mean it's fine. I don't mind that at all. I actually think that looks all right. We just, yeah, I mean, bit of a slope, to be fair, but other than that, it's not too awful. Can we do anything about said slope? Obviously not. No. Oh dear, oh dear. I don't know what to do. I just want to fill this gap and it won't fill up. Disaster. Okay, I'm preparing for the comments because of what I've done, but I've done a few things. Nothing too crazy, of course, but I know a lot of you are probably going to hate it. So this is kind of what we've ended up with. Obviously, Biffle of Tea, the historian, really wanted to kind of modernise this small sort of district here by adding this nice museum, which we've done exactly that. And we've developed just a couple of buildings to be around it, just to kind of fit the theme, to keep that kind of area going. And it's nothing too crazy, it's just two buildings. This building, which is Fashion Square, although technically speaking, this is probably more of a restaurant sort of area. As you can see places at the top, and you can sit up there, have a nice cup of tea, and you'll have absolutely stunning views of the old town. You can look down onto the museum and the boats, etc. So I think that's actually quite a nice addition. And actually the same up here. If you have this seat, and you can see probably this seat's probably the best, I reckon. You can see all of Old Town, and it's just beautiful. And I don't think they cause too many problems as well. The train line, they kind of fit the sort of theme. Yeah, it's not ideal with trains going past, etc, etc, but nevertheless, we were struggling with choice of assets of what to do, so we've made it work. This is obviously a building extension, however, we've placed it down. We don't mind. Nobody's gonna use it, I don't think, but nevertheless, I think this looks pretty cool. I actually really like this area. I think it looks fantastic. I love the boatyard. Obviously, when the city expands, we will have ferries going somewhere. Fire, fire! We're about to set this place on fire. Where are the fire engines? Bro, you're driving in reverse. Hurry up. Gosh. Gonna be a big issue in a minute. Come on, Speedy Gonzalez. But yeah, pretty good. I obviously haven't got round to this area simply because fortunately I've got things to do this evening, so I will think about what we're going to do with this at a later date. But I actually really like this. Nice little harbour, nothing crazy. It's very small compared to what it used to be back in the day when we were operating ships and stuff out of here, but nevertheless it looks awesome. So thank you very much for watching my videos. I appreciate it. If you want early access to my videos, then feel free to become a channel member. I'll figure out what we're going to do around the back here as well at some point, but nevertheless, thank you. I appreciate your support, I really do, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye. You really thought I was going to go without giving you a very brief cinematic of our lovely new area? Well, here you are. Have a little look. I actually really like the details. I think it looks beautiful. Actually, I'm quite fond of this area. One thing I have spotted is the zebra crossings. They are going to go. Don't worry, they will go. So don't panic. They will be gone before the next episode. No dramas. No dramas. But yeah, I love this area. I think it's great. So once again, thank you. I appreciate you. Consider dropping a like, subscribing, and joining me in the future for some more videos. Thank you, and good night.